A person of color's life is broken when a bigoted official annihilates her legitimate reports, dishonestly blaming her for wrongdoings. Yet, when it's uncovered she's the spouse of a strong president, the official's activities flash a tempest that uncovered fundamental unfairness and touches off a battle for change. What occurs next will stun everybody. However, how about we start toward the starting official? Matthew Callaway traveled through Hartford's packed roads with a intentional step, his cleaned boots clicking against the asphalt. It was a burning summer evening and the intensity appeared to enhance his all-around forcing disposition, with his fresh uniform squeezed flawlessly and a glimmering identification stuck to his chest. Callaway cut a imposing figure, his tall, expansive, carried outline transmitted power, and the sharp lines of his jaw added to his ordering presence. Yet behind his wharf-ing blue eyes hid a specific haughtiness, brought into the world from long periods of using unrestrained power for the sake of straightforward regulation implementation. As he examined the clamoring corner of a little square, his look locked onto Janelle Thompson. She remained by a merchant's truck, her normal twist skipping gently as she chuckled at something the merchant had said. Her sure attitude was obvious, a demonstration of the years she'd spent cutting out a profession at Worldwide Tech, one of the city's driving firms. She grasped an envelope, its content spilling marginally, uncovering official-looking reports including her work grant to Callaway anyway. Janelle addressed something altogether various, his lips twisted into a scowl as he watched her collaborate easily in the occupied court. Another pariah obstructing our roads, he mumbled softly, his biases saturating his considerations. Without a second thought he moved toward her, his voice sharp and accusatory. "Ma'am," he woofed, his tone slicing through the jabber around him. "Do you have a license to lead business here?" Frightened Janelle went to face him, disarray weaving her temples. "I'm not leading business, official, I'm simply don't give me pardons," Callaway snapped. Removing her in one quick movement, he snatched the envelope from her hand, overlooking her dissent as he rifled through the papers. His sneer extended as he hooked onto her work license with a sensational prosper. He tore it in, around 50% of the sound of tearing paper sharp against the court's encompassing commotion. Janelle heaved, venturing forward in doubt. "Hello, that is my authoritative archive." Callaway met her shock with a self-satisfied smile. "Assuming you're here without legitimate desk work, you'll have to deal with serious consequences regarding that." Before Janelle could say more, a smooth, dark SUV floated to a stop close by. The colored window moved down, uncovering a man in a sharp suit whose very presence radiated power. His quiet, frigid voice cut through the pressure. "Official Callaway," he said, his tone estimated yet risky. "How precisely are you doing my significant other?" Darren Jacob got out of the smooth, dark SUV, all his developments purposeful. Also, ready, his custom-made Naval Force suit sparkled in the early evening daylight, a distinct difference to the soiled asphalt. Underneath him, at more than 6 feet tall, Darren's instructing presence appeared to fill the little square, drawing the consideration of passers-by and hushing the low murmur of the road. His face, a cautious veil of self-restraint, was outlined by flawlessly managed salt and pepper hair, and his eyes conveyed a sharp force that recommended he was a man not used to being crossed. "Your better half," Official Callaway jeered. However, his boasting floundered as vulnerability flashed in his Eyes yes, Darren answered, his tone cut. In any case, firm Janelle Jacobs, my better half and one of the most fundamental individuals from our authority group at Worldwide Tech. Is there an issue here? Callaway delayed the sweat currently framing at his sanctuaries, selling out his anxiety. She was directing unlicensed exercises, he stammered, gripping to his beginning allegation. Unlicensed. Darren's sharp answer cut through the air, his words saturated with a calm however unquestionable power. He gone to Janelle, his disposition mellowing ever so marginally. Janelle, what happened? Janelle's voice was estimated, however, bound with stewing outrage as she related the occasions, the unwarranted scrutinizing, the seizure of her papers and the annihilation of her work license. Each word appeared to solidify Darren's appearance, his jaw gripping firmly when she completed. When Darren's look got back to Callaway, it was with a power that made the official noticeably wince. Do you understand what you've done? Darren's voice dropped to a low, deadly quiet. You've obliterated unlawful report, badgering my better half, and made unmerit allegations more awful. You've embarrassed yourself and discolored the standing of our city's police division. Callaway gulped hard, his prior certainty dissolving under the weight of Darren's words. I didn't realize, he stammered, his voice scarcely over a murmur. Didn't have the foggiest idea. Darren's voice rose sharp and unforgiving. You didn't ask, you expected. Furthermore, presently you'll confront the outcomes of your haughtiness. The strain hung weighty in the air as Callaway's power disintegrated under Darren's persistent look. The overall influence had moved irreversibly. Not long after the occurrence, the video caught by bystanders spread like quickly across web-based entertainment stages, the recording a dooming show of official Matthew Callaway's priggish haughtiness and obtrusive maltreatment of power hit a string with millions. It showed him tearing Janelle's work license with determined aloofness, also excusing her fights with scorn. The clasp's crudeness, Janelle's limited outrage, Callaway's outlandish antagonism, turned into a lightning bar for public shock. By sunset, hashtags requesting equity moved cross-country, and the Hartford Police Division got itself at the focal point of a tenacious media storm. Calls for responsibility poured in from local area pioneers, activists and residents, the same compelled to address the developing kickback boss Diana Monroe, a steadfast and all-around regarded individual of color, known for her obligation to straightforwardness. Ste forward at a hurriedly organized question and answer session. Boss Monroe stood tall behind the platform, her fresh uniform and quiet attitude oozing authority. Cameras clicked ceaselessly as she started, her voice unmistakable and firm. This episode doesn't mirror the upsides of our specialization, she expressed, her look clearing across the room. We are sending off a full examination concerning the matter and taking effect right now. Official Matthew Callaway has been put on semi-voluntary vacation forthcoming. Survey. The declaration gave transitory alleviation to general society, yet was a long way from the end. In the interim, Darren Jacobs burned through no time. Utilizing his broad network, he reached unmistakable common freedoms associations and collected a group of top legitimate specialists to intensify Janelle's story. Inside the space of days, her experience turned into a public idea. Media outlets broadcasted her meetings, where Janelle made yet enthusiastic talked. With lucidity and conviction, this isn't just about me. Janelle underscored during an ideal time. Broadcast, it's about each minimized individual who has been unreasonably focused on, hushed and excused. It's about a framework that empowers and safeguards such conduct. It's time for genuine responsibility and enduring change. Her words reverberated profoundly, starting discussions about fundamental bigotry, police overextend, and the dire need for change. The energy was irrefutable. What started as a nearby demonstration of unfairness had turned into a mobilizing sob for a development far bigger than any one individual. Weeks after the fact, Calloway sat in a disciplinary hearing, his bluster supplanted with apparent disquiet. The proof against him was condemning, and the office confronted mounting strain to act unequivocally. Official Calloway boss Monroe tended to him. Your activities have brought disgrace to this division. Viable quickly you are ended. Calloway's shoulders drooped. Yet, the results didn't end there. A common claim recorded by Janelle prompted a settlement which Darren and Janelle vowed to give to associations fighting racial ace recording and police wrongdoing. Janelle and Darren arose more grounded, their voices a revitalizing sob for equity. They led drives inside Hartford, upholding for police change and local area building endeavors. As for Calloway, he confronted the truth of his activities, an obvious indication of the expense of bias. The city of Hartford, shaken by the episode, started to change. Janelle's strength and Darren's help became images of trust, demonstrating that even in the face of bad form, strength and solidarity could ignite change.